Hey, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to If You Don't Like That. The All Star game is in the eighth inning in Atlanta. The National League, I'm sure if you really care, you'd probably be watching, but they're up 6-4. The first thing I would say about the All Star game, thank goodness, all right? Thank goodness that they are wearing their uniforms. Thank goodness. That's all I can say. You know what? At least when you turn on the game now, you know who the hell's playing, right? You know who's playing. That's the good part. You know who's playing. In the past, you turn on the All Star game, and I'm talking about in the past, I'm talking about the last couple of years, and you have absolutely no idea who's on the field. And the reason is very simple because they're all wearing the same uniforms. Thank freaking goodness. Thank goodness that you now can recognize the players because they are wearing their normal uniforms. So good for that. All right. Kings off until tomorrow. They have a matinee game. If you missed Jerry Reynolds on with Rhino and Sacktown today, check it out because they were on at 3:00 and they were talking a lot about the Kings' young players. That's this afternoon. You can go back and watch it at your leisure. All right. Check it out. Jerry Reynolds, Rhino, and Sacktown. They're on every single Tuesday at 3:00 right here. If you don't like that, Rhino will join me tomorrow. We'll be doing a show together. Looking forward to that. We'll talk about the Kings, who have another game, as I said, against Cleveland. I think the game is at 12:30 Pacific, so it is an afternoon game. All right. If you want to call the show, let me put the link up for you. You got the QR code that I'll put over my shoulder. And then you've got the link as well. You can give me a call right here if you don't like that. All right. So give me a shout. We'll put you right on and we can talk about it. Happy to have you on. Happy to talk about whatever else you want going on in the world of sports. How about the NFL? Training camps opening up soon. Some rookies already reporting. What a great time of the year if you're a football fan, because before you know it, the Hall of Fame game will be on. And even though that's a terrible game, it is at least the start of football season, right? At least you know that it's around the corner. I love that. All right. I love it. Absolutely love it. So we're going to be talking a lot of football coming up here in the very near future. If you want to get on the program, as I said, you got the link and everything else, and I'm happy to do it right here if you don't like that. You know, elsewhere in the world of sports, you got the Open over in Portrush. That is going to be coming up Thursday, round one at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. You can check it out. That is going to be on Thursday. You've got then after that, the real slow time of the year once Summer League ends and things come to a halt for the most part. Things come to a halt. All right. And then you're right into it, man. Football, college football, the NFL. Then the NBA gets started up. It's all there for you. Yes, love it. Absolutely love it. But from about Monday or Wednesday of next week until Labor Day, it is a very slow period of time. My thoughts on a $30 million per season for a cornerback. It's a lot of money, you know. It's a lot of money. It better be the best corner in football, and it better be a shutdown corner, a legitimate corner that takes away the opposition's best receiver. And with the way the rules are in this day and age of the NFL, that is not very easy. It's not very easy. Not very easy at all. But so my thoughts are cornerback is a very important position. All right. Very important position. But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I'm trying to think, in the NFL, you talk about, the best cornerbacks and the effect that they have. It's a lot of money. I heard the league is going back or going to look at the current playoff format since the number 7 seed has only won once. Personally, I'd like a return to the old format. I would too. I hate the play-in. I really do. Eduardo, what's going on, buddy? How are you? Ed in Chile. All right. Yeah, I know. I saw what the Jets did. I'm right there. You know, nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Happy to have you there. All right. How about we get to some phone calls right here on If You Don't Like That, and we check in with Dennis. Dennis, what's going on this evening?
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm upset. I'm upset.
Why are you upset?
Could you call me a moron about my pick?
All right, elaborate because I'm not following you.
I like I like Maximus. I like
Okay.
Maximus, and I feel like he's gonna fill in what we need. I feel
Okay.
like
You know what?
he's gonna fill in what we need. Like we never had this before, Grant.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Don't take things that personally. All right.
I do.
Okay, but wait a minute. Slow down
I
for a minute.
do. Because
Okay,
I've
but
never called you a moron in my life, Grant.
if you wanted to call me a
Grant,
moron, but
listen,
stop.
stop, Grant.
Dennis,
I
you can call me a
respect you
moron.
still.
Dennis,
I
it won't
never
offend
called
me
you
if
a
you call me a
moron.
moron.
I never said anything bad about you. I
Dennis,
love you, Grant.
Dennis, I've never
Grant,
said Dennis, stop for a
Grant,
minute.
are
I
you
didn't say anything
listening?
bad about you, Dennis.
I love you, Grant.
Dennis, I've
Are you
never
not,
said anything
Grant?
bad.
You're not a moron, Grant.
Dennis, you got
Okay,
your Dennis, don't get
you're
your
not a
feelings hurt.
moron.
Dennis,
Nobody's a moron.
no,
Everybody
that's
has their
not true,
own
Dennis. There are a lot of
feelings.
morons out there.
Well, okay, but everybody has their own feelings and opinions. Nobody's going to be a moron when they love this team, is what I'm saying. Is what I'm
Dennis,
saying. You
Dennis.
can't be a moron when you love this team.
All right. You let me know when you're done, and then I'll answer your questions, okay?
Yes, sir. I'm done.
Okay. First of all, don't take me calling you a moron in a
I
negative
do. Don't ever disrespect me.
Whoa. I let you
Don't
talk.
disrespect me, Grant.
Dennis.
Don't call me a fucking moron.
All right, you're off. You're done. All right. Don't curse on my program, Dennis. It's not called for. All right. I didn't curse at you. Don't you curse at me. All right. And since you would not let me talk, all right, I've now taken you off the channel. Okay. As Ed says, calm down. The other one says he sounds like he's had a few drinks. I don't know, Dennis. So I don't know if he's had a few drinks or not. All right. Here's what I'm going to say. Relax. Okay. Relax. I have no problem that you love Max Reynaud. I have no problem at all. The problem I have, Dennis, is you're ready to put him into Hall of Fame after one Summer League game and now two. I believe the comment I made to you was after his first game. And the point I'm trying to make to you, Dennis, is that's foolish. All right? He's skilled. He can do a little bit of everything offensively. He can handle. He looks like he can pass. He's a shooter. But there's another side of the floor, Dennis, and it's called defense. And it's called rebounding, which he has not done well in 2 games. And right now, defensively, I don't know who he's going to be able to guard in the NBA. Now, I think this is true of all young bigs. Once they get a frame on them and a better body, they'll be able to stay on the floor physically. And then we'll see what happens. I would say this. In watching Summer League and following Summer League in the first week, I don't know if it would be possible to get a player that's better in the second round than the Kings got at number 42. But Dennis, you need to just like control yourself a little bit. He's going against basically college talent, less than G League talent, and he's on a team that should win games because they're probably the best summer league team because they're the oldest. And you make it seem like I told you so, this and that. And your overreaction is too much, Dennis. All right? So don't take it personally. And don't call up this show and use the F word. All right? Don't do it. Don't do it. All right? Don't do it. Plain and simple. And you're welcome on this show, Dennis. You're welcome. I appreciate your support. But take it from so many others that I've called a moron or I've gotten into it with, and they come right back and they don't have a problem with it. You can call me a moron if you want. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I call myself a moron all the time. You ought to go golf with me, Dennis. I call myself all kinds of things. Doesn't bother me. My friends call me things that are much worse than a moron. It doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, Dennis, then I don't know what to say. All right? I don't know what to say. I didn't mean to use the bad word. All right, I accept your apology, Dennis. So we're good, okay? We're good. Just don't take things so personally, Dennis. That's all I'm saying. Like if I call you a moron, I don't really mean it in the true sense of the word like you're a moron. It's a figure of speech about a comment you made, in my opinion. And if you want to disagree with me. I'm fine with that, you know? Says, sit this one out tonight, Dennis. Come back stronger tomorrow. Ed says, if you are not a moron, don't act like it, buddy. It's all good. We've moved on. Ed, I've moved on. Dennis, you've moved on, right? We're all good? We're all good, buddy? That's not a good way to start my show, Dennis. You know? I'm in a good mood. All right, thank you, buddy. He says, I love you, Grant. Okay. We're all good, Dennis. See, we got through it. It's like a marital spat. We got through it. All right, we're all good. You know what? I'm not going to accuse him of drinking. I don't know, Dennis. I don't like doing that. I really don't. All right, Dennis, you're all good, buddy. You're all good. All right. If you want to call the show like Dennis, you can do so. But please, all right? No F-bombs, all right? It's sports, Dennis. Just relax. That's what I would say, too. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me see what's going on in the All-Star game here. Do you care about the All-Star game? And I really mean that. I don't really care. I'll tell you one thing I did like as they've gone to the top of the ninth, and it's the only part of the game that I watched. I love when Clayton Kershaw came in and they had a mic on him and they were talking to him as he was actually pitching. That was cool. That was a great segment. All right. That was a really good segment. I enjoyed that. I thought it was tremendous. And obviously the familiarity with Joe Davis being the voice of the Dodgers, you know, he knows Clayton very well and very comfortable. So it was very good. All right. Winning is not fulfilling life. Scheffler, do you agree? I'll tell you how I would answer that. Everyone's different. Winning to Scotty Scheffler may be completely different than winning to Rory McIlroy. We all view winning and losing differently. We all view achievement differently. Some people are egotistical. Some people are magnanimous. Some people are extroverted. Some people are introverted. Some people are me, where others are team. Right? So we're all different. So if Scotty Scheffler, and I did see what he said, I watched it, said that, you know, winning is really not what drives him, because he said, in 2 minutes it's over, and you're being asked about, the next week tournament and what you're going to have for dinner. And it's not really what fuels him. In other words, like, it's not really what he plays golf for in terms of what's important to him. So I thought his answer was very interesting, but I think that if you interviewed 10 of the top players in the world and asked them that same question, you would get a variety of different answers. That's for sure. I should attend an A's game with a sign saying abolish the pitch clock. I actually love the pitch clock. I think it's one of the best things that's happened to baseball. I really do. I think it's tremendous. I think it's one of the best things that has happened to baseball. I'll be honest, I lost interest in baseball ever since the A's moved out of Oakland. Might catch a game in West Sac, but not rushing to do so. All right. There's the link to call the show right here if you want to get on. All right. See, Dennis, you have some fans here. I have respect for you and your knowledge big time. See, Dennis, you got a fan club, buddy. You got a fan club. But again, you got the links right there in the chat. Check it out. You can call the show. And again, if you missed Jerry Reynolds today at 3:00 with Rhino, you can go check it out at your leisure. They talk a lot about the Kings Rooks and other things with the NBA. I think the most interesting aspect right now of Summer League is Devin Carter and where you project him playing on this roster, assuming that he's not traded. All right? That's going to be interesting here as we get through the summer, because you can only play 5 guys at once. And if you look at the roster right now and the fact that Devin Carter's not really a point guard, he's more of a combo guard. And you have Scott Perry and obviously Doug Christie, who are trying to groom Nate Clifford into playing some point. Although I think that's kind of a reach right now personally, but that's what the goal is. If you have Schroeder, who's going to play in the low 30s every game and sometimes 35, then, I don't know where Devin Carter's going to play, because you've got LaVine and Schroeder. All right. Think about this. Schroeder and LaVine start. You got Malik Monk, who's going to play a lot of minutes. Keon Ellis, Devin Carter. That's why I think you might still see a move before the start of the season. All right. Dennis, go away for the evening, would you please? I called you a moron. I don't regret it. Don't take it so damn seriously and stop talking about it. All right. We had a conversation. We agreed that we were moving on. The people in the chat have had enough. It's time. All right. So don't worry about it. We already talked about it. All right. No more, Dennis. No more. No more. No more. Enough's enough. All right. Enough's enough. There's no doubt about that. Been there. We've done it. So relax. Hey, Sunrise Landing in Calusa. Go to CalusaSunrise.com. And if you're looking to relocate, this is a beautiful area. Adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club, this Blazona Development Project has 6 models to choose from. You've got no Mellorews, no homeowners. It's really good. All right. And remember, it's I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20 will all get you to Sunrise Landing. Go to CalusaSunrise.com. That's CalusaSunrise.com and check out Sunrise Landing. It is always great when Rabini will call the show, like right now. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm out here walking my dog, man, and just getting excited to talk to you, man. How's your day going, Grant?
I'm good. What kind of dog do you have?
Oh man, Grant, I got something called an XL Bully. I don't know if you
Oh
can see
wow.
him. He's about
Hmm.
155 pounds, big old house hippo. That's what I call him. But he just looks like that. He just looks like that. Grant, couple things, man.
what's his name?
Oh, his name is Loki. Loki.
Loki.
4
All
years old.
right. Good. All
Big
right,
old,
man.
big old house hippo. Say hi, bubbles.
All
Say
right,
hi.
Loki. Hello, Loki.
So,
All right.
Grant, tonight I want to ask a few things, right? And it's going to be talking about just player development. What do you want to see in the summer league? I know you said before you don't really put too much, thought into it or care about that much. But what would you want to see to make you feel excited about the future? That'll be my first question. I got a second follow up.
Well, the very simple. Before the summer league began, I wanted Neek Clifford and Max Reynaud to look like that they belong, meaning that I needed for them to play well in summer league to have me be optimistic about them being part of the rotation in the fall. And so far, they've done that. So those boxes are checked off, one and two. That to me was the two most important things about the team, and I think they've already accomplished that.
Okay. Second thing, now I want to get into the new school versus old school. How much how much say did the reporters get right when they were going to the locker rooms and let's say was Rick Madaman was in there and he wanted something to get out? Was Rick Madaman ever doing anything like that? From your
No,
opinion, no.
Rick was
So
one of the
now,
most secretive.
hmm
Rick was one of the most secretive, tight-lipped coaches of anyone that I was around in my 32 years of covering the NBA.
is investigative journalism dead in the professional sports of NBA?
Everyone's different. If a coach wants something to get out, they have somebody that they can call, and it will get out within 2 seconds. Normally, it's an agent, but if it's a member of the media, all coaches have a member of the media that they trust 100%, and they know that if they talk to them, they can get their narrative out, and it happens all the time. It's a very good question.
Now the last one because I don't like this guy so much. Rich Paul. What type of agent is he compared to the old school agents? Like, what type of leverage is he using? Is he using these players as leverage, or is he like, how does these agents use leverage now compared to back in the day, or is it just the same book, different people running the show? It's just the same
It's a
thing.
great question. They use leverage by threatening teams that he's not going to re-sign with
Mm.
you. All right. So if there's a team that's trying to go after a specific player, the agent will say he's not going to re-sign there, and that team then will be like maybe reluctant to make that deal because they'll have to give up a significant portion of their roster to get that individual. And I think we saw it to a degree with De'Aaron Fox, right? I mean, they wanted to go to San Antonio. They
Yeah.
worked out a deal with San Antonio, and Rich Paul's a very powerful agent. He knows all the people to call in the NBA, and he just says, "Hey, listen, I'm just telling you, my client doesn't have any interest in staying there. He's not going to re-sign." Now
Mhm.
you can call a bluff on that. I mean, the Kings did that with Chris Webber when he came out to Sacramento. The narrative was there was no way Chris was going to re-sign. Here's the big difference with that. Chris had 2 years left on his deal. So the Kings had 2 years left to sell him on why Sacramento would be good for him. There's a big difference. If you only have a couple of months, like if you trade a player at a trade deadline and your deal is up at the end of the summer, that's not a lot of time to influence that player. And if an agent says he's not going to resign in the summer, a lot of teams will shy away from that.
Ah, business is different. Now, one last thing is Grant is I asked you this before, like when it become a players league to an agents league, but that manipulation, what do you need in the organization not to have that? Like, what type of structure did the Kings have when Rick Alderman, when our heyday? What type of chemistry did you see from the top down? Because I know at that time I was young and people didn't like the Maloof, and that was everything I was just reading on ESPN at the time when we could get that information out in California, SoCal. But like, what's the night and day difference?
That's a great question. Winning is the biggest difference. Nobody wanted to go to
Mm,
play for the Warriors uh, until they started winning, and then everyone wanted to go play for the Warriors. Nobody wanted to play for the Kings in the late '90s. Nobody. And then they traded to get Vladdy, or they signed Vladdy as a free agent. They drafted Jay Will. They traded Mitch for Chris. And overnight, when the Kings started winning, all the agents were calling up, all the players were telling their agents, "Get me to Sacramento." So it's really the swinging of the pendulum. Once you start winning, players want to go there. Like Oklahoma City now, you wait till you see all the players that are going to be willing to go there on 1-year deals. They want to play there. And I'll tell you, right now it's happening in San Antonio, and it's happening in Houston. Look at all the players that are going to South Texas because they're like, "Oh boy, this is going to be good. This ship is getting ready to go full steam ahead. I want to be a part of that." It just happens.
Man, I appreciate that, Grant. That was some great insight. I like asking these questions that you don't get a lot because us Kings fans want to know. Like, that's why
Yep.
we call you who you are. You're the greatest, Grant. I appreciate you, man. Have a good
Well,
night.
thank you. And one
Uh-huh.
other thing, you
Yes,
said
sir.
something about the Maloofs, and here's the truth because I
Yes.
lived it.
Oh, perfect.
Players loved playing for the Maloofs. They wanted to play for the Maloofs. And one of the big reasons was because of how they treated their players. And at the time, they had the hottest casino resort in all of Vegas, the Palms. They had the hottest
Oh,
nightclubs. They had Rain. They had Ghost Bar. And players wanted to be a part of that because they knew that they could go and play a fun style of basketball up and down, right, with a coach that lets you play, with a gym that's sold out every night, and the owners are going to take care of you. All the players love that, and they wanted to be a part of Sacramento.
you brought something up to my mind. I'm gonna ask you, Grant. How many have you ever heard of alleged like side deals to where, hey, you take a vet minimum, and then we'll give you, a couple. Let's give an example, right? We'll give you a couple nights, or we'll give you hotel residency. I'm not saying the Maloofs did it, but like other organizations or anybody. Is that
Yes,
true? Of people
it is
taking.
true. It is
Mm,
true, and the league policed that very closely, and they were on top of that, especially when the Maloofs bought the Kings because of their connections with Vegas. That could have been in violation of the salary cap, and
mm.
so yes, that did go on, but the league put a halt to it, and they made sure that everything was kept in line.
Do you know who was made an example out of, or who got mad? What was, because I can definitely see that being, not fair
Uh,
in a sense, but it's not my fault. I got the resources to get that
no,
done.
no,
Hmm.
but I do know that the league was involved in it, and
Hmm.
there was a kind of a police mechanism, like a watchdog mechanism, and the
Okay.
Maloofs had to actually take a step back with some of the things they were doing as it pertained to parties and things of that nature. And it wasn't just the Kings, by the way. So many NBA players would go hang out at Rain and Ghost Bar at the
Hmm.
Palms. And I'm telling you, and I mean this, in the early 2000s, that and the Palms isn't even on the strip. It's off the strip. It was the
Yeah.
number one. No, I'm telling you, it was the number one destination for celebrities in Vegas. It was the list the you had the biggest mega celebrities hanging out at the Palms that the Maloofs owned. It was unbelievable.
Man, Grant. That's why I like picking your brain, Grant, because you got things that every Kings fan listening right now is like, wow, wow. So that's some good information, Grant. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna head home and listen to the rest,
Okay.
man. You have a great night, Grant.
Thank you, man. Great call.
Yes, sir.
I used to go to the Palms, and it was unbelievable. And we used to play a preseason game there. And when the Maloofs first bought the team, the Palms was being built. It was being built, and we couldn't stay there when they first bought the team because it wasn't ready. But once it opened in the early 2000s, it was a wow. And they had a nightclub called Rain. It's still there. You can look it up. It was the number one destination for high rollers and celebrities in Vegas. Number one. It was packed, and they had a five-star steakhouse called Nine. Then they built their next tower, and they had the Playboy Club there on the top floor. And then when they built their third tower, which was going to be their condominium tower, that's when their demise began. They had that entire tower. I believe it was either 90% or 100% contracted. All the units, all of them. And then in 2006 and 2007, while that, it's called Palms Place, was being built, the economy tanked. And many, many of the people that had put down non-refundable deposits backed out. And that building went from near capacity before it was even built to near empty. And the Maloofs had leveraged themselves big time. And George Maloof, by the way, if he were sitting next to me, would say, Grant, you're wrong. And he said so on the 30 for 30 down in the valley that only a few of us saw. But I'm not wrong because I lived through it and I saw what was happening. The Maloofs went from arguably the most desired owners to play for in the NBA to we don't want to go there anymore almost overnight because of the economy tanking in 2006, 2007. It even went as far with the Christmas present or the gifts or the bonuses that the Maloofs would give their employees. When the Maloofs bought the Kings, they treated their employees like gold. I'll never forget this. Never forget it. All the male members, and they did stuff for the females, but I'm just telling you, we all were invited to the arena, and they had flown in their custom tailor from Vegas. I remember his name, Dave Nichols. And we all got fitted for 2 suits. Beautiful suits. Gorgeous. And the Maloofs would do great things for their employees over the holidays. And it was like a tremendous chemistry building organization. Whether you worked as an usher or you were the TV announcer of the team, you were treated like you were important to the organization. And everyone loved the Maloofs. Everyone. They loved them. The fans loved them. They were accessible. And then it just vanished. Like many other businesses too, by the way, not just the Maloofs and the Kings. When the economy collapsed in 2006, 2007, I'll never forget this. I was at the 9 Steakhouse and the Ford stock, the stock of Ford was like below $1. And the guy I was with said, I'm telling you right now, you need to buy the Ford stock. I'm telling you right now, within a year, this will be up to 17 or 18. And I didn't have any extra money. So I, like me, being stupid, within a year, the stock was, I think, $17.45. I'll never forget that. I remember where I was sitting at 9 Steakhouse in Vegas with the guy from Ford that was saying, I'm telling you, if you want to get rich, buy a lot of Ford stock. And he said, Ford doesn't need help from the government. We're fine. We got a good pipeline. We're going to be fine. And within a year, the stock was almost at 18. I'll never forget that. Never forget it. But Rabini is an awesome caller. He's a freaking first team all caller. First team all caller. No doubt about that. First team. Tell you what else is first team. New Works Plumbing. When you need a plumbing repair, concerns, they're awesome. They've got a fix for you. They're available 24/7. Give them a call or go to their website. You can also go to newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com, New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. Check them out. They're awesome. All right. If you want to call the show, we'd love to have you on. Great call, man. Great call. Love that call. All right. Everyone has their highs and lows. Very true. Very, very true. No doubt about it. Per SI, Mark Jones said the Kings might be interested in Ben Simmons. Is he worth pursuing? To me, seems like a stupid idea. Absurd. I don't know why you would want Ben Simmons. Why, to watch him play 30 games a year? No, thank you. I wouldn't do it. I guess if you're the Kings, though, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Seriously. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen? But I wouldn't do it. I think that would be a very, very desperate to everything that you're trying to accomplish here. So if you're asking me, no, absolutely not. Do I know what happened with DJ Bodiroga? It would have been awesome to watch him play with Vladi or Peja or the Kings. Yeah, if memory serves me correct, his contract over in Europe was too difficult to get out of. And then I don't think he had his heart set on playing in the NBA as well. But yeah, they thought he could have been part of that tremendous mix. No doubt. Good to hear about ownership that values everyone on down to arena workers. No doubt about it. The Maloofs knew everyone's names. They made time. Didn't matter whether you were a usher or a concessionaire or you were the TV announcer. They made time for you. They made you feel important. All right? Period. Very good point by Rabini. He wasn't a game changer for the Clippers. He is who he is. I agree with you. You know, I would think that's true of any business. When you can make the person that's making the lowest wages, who may not have the profile job in your company, and you can make them feel important, then you have a very successful business. You could have a very successful business. And the Maloofs were able to do that. I believe if the economy had not collapsed, I think things would be totally different in Sacramento. I believe that the arena would have been built a long time ago. And I believe there's a good chance the Maloofs would still own the team. I mean that. I really do. Now, there was also a lot of issues going on from a political point of view in Sacramento with the arena. I mean, if you want to think about Sacramento and their city government, they were so inept and so incompetent and so short-sighted, they couldn't even have AAA baseball in Sacramento. Little West Sacramento figured it out, but Sacramento couldn't. Think about that for a minute. West Sacramento, their own municipality, their own mayor, they figured out a way to do it. And by the way, when the River Cats moved to Sacramento, they were the most successful AAA franchise in America. Sold out every game. It was an amazing success. Think about all the revenue that was brought into West Sacramento, not Sacramento. Think about that. The capital of California could not even get a damn AAA ballpark built. That's how inept they were. Terrible. Terrible. What was my pregame meal before home games, and what city on the road had the best food? My pregame meal was whatever they were serving in the press room. I'm not big on pregame meals and I used to eat in like 2 minutes because many times I would have just done my radio show and then I had to get ready to do the game. People used to give me a hard time because I never sat down when I ate. I always stood. I said, I don't have time to sit down. Which team had the best food on the road, the best media room? There were a few that were outstanding. Right now, Detroit's the best. Boy, that they do an amazing job there. I mean, that's the best. Sacramento, by the way, along with Charlotte, are the two worst. The media room in Sacramento is an embarrassment, and the food is an embarrassment. And that's the same in Charlotte. It's embarrassing. At least the Charlotte's bigger, but it's embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing. LA's great. Clippers, Lakers, one of the very best. I'd probably put that number one, actually, and Detroit a 1A. Sacramento is 30th or 29th out of 30 teams. City council is a reflection of their voters. I guess it is, yes. Yep, I guess it is. What are they doing now? You're talking about the Maloofs. They're in Vegas. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing in terms of their business. But, yeah, they're in Vegas. Or at least I know George and Phil and Joe are. Hey, folks, don't forget about Bennett's Prime Seafood and Steaks, whether it is Sacramento, Roseville, or the West Side Grill in Rockland. And right now, they have a Taste of Summer, which I think if you get down there and check it out, whether it is for happy hour, all right, or whether you're looking at great appetizers, like the addition of their chicken wings, 1.5 pounds of drumettes, oven roasted, flash fried, tossed in a spicy barbecue sauce, served with carrot, celery, and ranch. Or how about salmon lettuce cups? Creamy poached salmon, butter lettuce, apples, chives. All right. Again, they have something for everyone. The Taste of Summer, 2 courses, a great starter, and a choice of 4 entrees for $30, or add a special dessert for $5 more. Whether it's Sacramento, Roseville, or the West Side Grill, just go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com, check out everything that they can offer, and make a reservation. That's Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Prime Seafood and Steaks at Bennett's. Glad to have you with us here on If You Don't Like That. Oh, yes, Eduardo. I saw the last stream and someone was asking about Chile. Yes, we did. And I said, boy, it's too bad Ed's not here because he'd be able to answer all your questions. Yes, indeed. I got some stories, huh, Mr. Williams? I got some good stuff, huh? You ask me a question, I take you back 25 years ago, and I'm tell you what it was like. I'm going to tell you something right now. When you were going out for a night at the Palms back at the early 2000s, it was like a wow. Like, I'm not kidding you. It was wow. And you wouldn't be able to get into Rain or Ghost Bar unless either you had a lot of money or you knew somebody. And we had these special bracelets that we wore, and it got us into everywhere. The Ghost Bar was the view from the Ghost Bar of the entire Las Vegas Strip outdoors. It was unbelievable. Ghost Bar was, I mean, you ask anyone that's a little bit older that was in Vegas in the early 2000s, they will all tell you they were at the Palms. There's nobody that went to Vegas in the early 2000s that didn't go to the Palms. Everyone was at the Palms. Everyone. I mean, like, not just athletes. And I'm talking about, listen, I'll tell you a story, and I'm sure Aaron Rodgers won't mind me saying that. After Aaron won the Super Bowl and he was the MVP, he called me and wanted a contact for the Palms to go have his celebration there. I mean, like, the top athletes in America, boxers, football players, baseball players, right? Basketball. I mean, it was filled with athletes, but it was also filled with A-list celebrities. A-list celebrities. A-list. It was unbelievable. I mean, and Rain nightclub, wow. Rain was like, I mean, again, I'm talking 20 years ago. It was a wow. Wow. It was a wow. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if you were there in the early 2000s, I would love to know because, as they say, it was lit. It was off the hook. It was off the hook. All right, don't forget, tomorrow, Rhino will join me, and we'll be doing a show. And I think we'll do it at 8 o'clock, but I'll ask Rhino after I get done, and we'll see what time works for him. But we'll be here, and we'll do a show together. Again, if you missed Jerry Reynolds on earlier, check it out. They talk about Nee Clifford. They talk about Dennis's all-time favorite player in the history of the NBA, Max Reno. They talk about him, Devin Carter, and other things in the NBA. All right. I need to visit a nightclub before I'm 40. That's the only part about that. I was, I wasn't old, but I was in my early 40s. I mean, I had fun. Don't get me wrong, you know. Wait a minute. I went to a few in Thailand. I completely forgot. All right. You go in Pattaya to the nightclubs there or in Bangkok? Which ones? All right. Vivek only wants photos with D-list celebrities. Very true. And an A-list. All right. Last one, Grant. You ever fly on the plane with the team? All the time. 90% of the time. I'll tell you, I got a better one for you, Rabini. I used to sit in the cockpit. How's that for you? When the Kings got their first airplane back in the early 90s. Rabini, you may not have heard this story before, so I'm going to give it to you real quick. I love flying. It's my passion. I actually almost got my pilot's license. And I love flying. And when they got their first airplane, the Bach 111, I used to sit in the jump seat in the cockpit whenever I could. And the captain's name was Ford. God rest his soul. He later on tragically perished in a crash. He was on his way into Texas. I can't remember the actual airport, and got caught in awful wind shear. And we lost Ford. It was a great man. But then when the Lukenbill got a 737, I used to sit in that cockpit, and I used to fly all the time in the cockpit. I loved it. Now, there were others that would like to go up there and check it out, but I was always in the cockpit. But yeah, I used to fly with the team all the time. All the time. And then the first year, Rabbini's, the Kings had their own airplane. Dick Motta was the coach. And the Kings had lost 43 straight games on the road over a course of 2 seasons, which you can't do in one season because you only play 41. And we're walking off the airplane after the last road game of the year. It's like 1 a.m. And the Kings that year, Rabbini, went 1-40 on the road. And I used to sit right across from Dick. And he stands up. We're all getting ready to walk off the plane. And he says in a deadpan voice, "Man, it's a good thing we had our effing airplane this year. We may have gone 0-41. And we all laughed. We were just like, what a classic line that was. Good thing we had our own airplane this year. We may have gone 0-41. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Those were good days, man. Those were good days. I should find a way to work up the ladder of the aviation industry. I'm a little too old for that. Okay. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. You like that one, huh, buddy? I thought you'd like that. Yes, indeed. Dick Motta. Dick won a championship with Washington. He also was the coach of the Dallas Mavericks expansion team for years and closed out his career in Sacramento. I love Dick. I love talking to him. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot. He was always in the effort. I'll never forget. I'm standing on the court one night, and I'm talking to Dick before the game, and they're playing the Dallas Mavericks with Mark Aguirre, Rolando Blackman, Turpin. They had a really good team. And he's telling me all the players that are hurt that aren't playing tonight for his team. I just started going, oh, my God. And he said, let me tell you something, Grant. He goes, I got 3 CBA players that are going to be starting for me tonight. And he said, here's what I've learned. Give me guys that are playing for their lives. Give me guys that are playing for their careers. And I'll win you games with those guys with the heart and the desire, who know that their future may depend on how they play tonight. And I'll tell you, that night when the Kings started 3 CBA players against the Mavs, they almost won the game. And I'll never forget that, what Dick told me. Talent is one thing, but man, if you don't want to play, if your heart's not into it, it's wasted talent. Wasted. Those were I learned a lot from Dick. And Dick's the one that got me in trouble with Spud. I'm at practice one day and he goes, "You need to referee the scrimmage." I go, "Dick, I can't referee the scrimmage." He goes, "I need you to referee the scrimmage." I go, "Dick, I don't know how to referee." He threw me his whistle. And Spud and I were very tight. Spud Webb and I used to go out on the road almost every night. Spud's a dear friend of mine. I love the man. He's family to me. Love the man. And I didn't call a foul on Spud driving to the basket. And he got so pissed at me. And he didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. We'd go on the road, nothing. Didn't ask me out. And I'm like, "Spud." I tried to talk to him. He wouldn't even look at me. I'm like, "Spud." And then finally, after 2 weeks, we started talking. He goes, "Man, why didn't you call a foul?" I go, "Spud, I'm a freaking announcer. I'm not a referee." "Yeah, but he almost broke my arm." I'm like, "Spud, it was practice." I go, that's how competitive Spud was, man. Spud wanted to win at everything. That's what made him a tremendous player. That's what made him a tremendous player. I'll never forget that day in practice. Oh my gosh. 2 freaking weeks. He blew me off, wouldn't even look at me. I'm like, oh my God. Seriously, I'm not making that up. That's true. Oh my gosh. How do I feel about nil in college sports? I think it's the worst thing that happened in college sports. I think college sports is on the decline. And I think that the transfer portal, along with the nil, is a real negative impact currently on collegiate sports. Unbelievable. Yeah, he had a tantrum. And again, Spud and I were like, Spud was great. He was great. I mean, I love Spud. I probably have as much admiration and respect for Spud Webb as any player that I've ever been around. Love the man. I loved him because he didn't care whether you were white or black. He didn't care about anything. He cared whether you were a good person or not. And Spud had a shell around him. It took a while to get into Spud's circle. But once Spud vetted you and knew who you were and took you in as a friend, you had a friend for life. All right? And I'll never forget when I went to Dallas before the team and hung out with Spud at his brand new house on Thorntree Country Club, right next to Tim Brown. Never forget it. Spud was having the whole team over for the housewarming party that night. He was so proud to show me that new house that he bought. 7,500 square feet right on the golf course of Thorntree Golf Club. And then we even went for a drive. And we're driving through a neighborhood. And he says, "How much do you think that house would cost in Sacramento?" I said, "Man, I have no idea." I go, "That's beautiful." He goes, "Let me show you this house." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "You can just walk into the house?" He's like, "Don't worry. I just want to show you this house. See how nice this is." And it was the house that he bought for his mom. And he wanted me to meet his mom. I'm just like, wow. And we went in and we hung out at Spud's mom's house. You don't forget things like that. You know? You don't forget things like that. You don't forget Wayman Tisdale and Regina. The salt of the earth. Thanksgiving, Christmas, come on over to our house. We know that you're not married. We know that, you don't have a family here. You come hang out with us. You don't forget that. They had an open door policy on the holidays. If you didn't have anywhere to go, if you were alone, you go to the Tisdales. Think about that. Wayman freaking Tisdale and his wife, Regina. Come over with us. Those were the days. Those days don't really exist anymore. Not like then. Those were the days. Great stuff. All right. Don't forget tomorrow. All right. Tomorrow. Rhino joins me. Looking forward to that. Love doing this show, man. You all are freaking awesome. Dennis, I love you, buddy. Don't get so upset next time, all right? You're all good. You're part of the group, Dennis. You're part of the group. Good or bad, Dennis. I stick with you, you stick with me. Don't get so upset. Don't make it so personal. All right? Come on. All right? Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Thank you for sharing, Grant. Great show as always. Love sharing. I have so many stories. All right? Thank you, Rabini. Appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate everybody else. I'll be back tomorrow with Rhino. Have yourself a blessed evening. So long, everybody. Bye-bye.